Hello, my fearless seekers. My name's Amanda. Welcome into your full moon in Cancer Pick a Card Tarot reading. Now, the full moon is going to draw attention to the vulnerable areas of our lives, the things that we've put aside or neglected out of obligation, busyness, or fear. This is going to be a moment to consider all of that and reflect on what within your life or self needs a little more care and attention right now. This is to check in and recalibrate where your efforts are being placed. So if you are ready to hop into your reading, the timestamps are in the description and in the pinned comments. However, for those who would like a close-up of the Soul Path crystals today, let me do that right now. For Soul Path 1, we have the Smokey Quartz. For Soul Path 2, we have the Clear Quartz. And for Soul Path 3, we have the Rose Quartz. So when you are ready, click on the timestamp for your reading, and I'll see you over there. Hello, Soul Path 1. Welcome into your reading. You chose the Smokey Quartz crystal. I feel like this full moon is going to either encourage you to look into the subconscious, into the depths of something, unveiling some kind of secret, or moving through darkness, moving through some kind of unknown here. There could be a lot of foggy energy around what you are moving through right now. And this full moon may highlight an area that you have kept in the dark or kept suppressed. So something within the subconscious is being made aware of. And it may need your time, your attention, your care, your acknowledgement, your presence. So we are getting an energy of your full moon cycle, setting boundaries with number 30, threshold, protection, and honor. This is not just about setting boundaries. This is about honoring boundaries. So I almost get the sense that you are walking a path, or you need to walk whatever path you would like to move on, or a destination you would like to move towards, and you have to put up fences on either side of the road. So if you are walking down a path, the fences will protect you from any interference that may throw you off path, that might get in your way. Now, that doesn't mean you can't interact with the things on the other side of the fence, but they have no power to influence your direction, if that makes sense. So this is kind of what I'm getting with what this full moon cycle is highlighting for you, is setting boundaries so that you can move down the center path rather than being pulled here and there. And that might be what you're working through right now. This may also be part of what is being highlighted for you with this full moon in Cancer. Your boundaries are going to honor your energy, honor your truth, protect you from anything that you do not want to interact with or engage with, or at least create some kind of boundary around what you're willing to tolerate or not. So let's get into your tarot and see what wants to come through. So let's look at what needs attention right now. Maybe what your soul desires. I feel like I've shuffled this one too many times. And that could be something for you too, where you feel like you've done something once too many, and it's time to put an end to that, put a stop to that. Your integrity, something about your integrity or your truth. I'm really getting a sense of self-abandonment here. So for Soul Path 1, let's look at Six of Pentacles. Yes, reciprocity. So you want to get into an energy, or your soul wants you to get into an energy of reciprocity, of giving and receiving in equal measure. Maybe not in the immediate moment where you're exchanging money for a product or a service, but in relation to people, this is about being able to rely on somebody that you have offered assistance to, or you have spent time with, or had experiences with. So this could have to do with friendships, something within your physical environment, physical connections to things. The efforts that you put in, you want to reap the harvest of that. So this could also be career, business, job. Maybe it's setting boundaries about what you're worth and not wavering on that, which could be a little difficult, right? If we're not used to setting those boundaries and saying no, there could be an element of people pleasing here. So let's look at the block to stepping into this energy, this desire. Two of Wands. Seeing the bigger picture here, it's seeing beyond your current circumstance, seeing beyond what maybe it could be, or maybe what you don't expect. It's almost as if you're stuck in the comfort zone of what you're used to, but it may not be ideal anymore, right? So this is you having to transform and build the courage, or build the bravery, build the knowledge base, just build something so that you can launch off of, if that makes sense. Which may require transformation as well within. You have to be willing to leave what feels familiar, what feels comfortable, to step into your future. And because there's a bit of unknown of what will happen if I do that, if I set that boundary, if I take that path, if I make that choice, because there is no guarantee, because there is no maybe end point, there's a fear of stepping away from what you know, even though you may have outgrown it, even though it's no longer ideal. So what is the next empowered step? How can you step into the Six of Pentacles energy more? 10 of Cups in the upright. There's a sense of optimism coming through here, and the World at the bottom of the deck here. Big picture thinking is coming through with both of these cards, because Two of Wands is about building on something that you can't quite see yet, that you can't quite tangibly grasp, or a path to follow. This is having trust in that process. And the World is that big picture idea of expansion beyond what you are used to, what you're comfortable with, expanding beyond the experiences that you've gone through, maybe over and over again. And again, with the number 3 coming through in this card, that is a number of expansion as well. So it is, I feel this new moon is highlighting where your soul wants to expand and thinking bigger picture. 10 of Cups is to really consider what that big picture feeling is. How do you want to feel in community with people? What does your community look like? What does it feel like? Maybe it's about finding communities that you can feel supported in as much as you support other people. So again, there's that reciprocity coming through. And that 10 of Cups speaks to that reciprocity, where you offer support to the collective and the collective offers support to you. This could be soul family, so finding close friends and other members that you can really have intimate and personal experiences with, mutual shared love. But I feel it's really going to require you to think beyond your current experience, to expand and step into maybe a bigger energy, a more powerful or empowered energy. And have the optimism that you can create it. Because I feel your desire is there, but the fear of action, or the fear of it not being true, is preventing you from moving forward and seeking it or creating it. That also might be something too. You're trying to create a community that does not yet exist. So it requires you to trust in that big picture vision, even if it's not in full form yet. Maybe it doesn't exist, so you have no rule book. You know, this Two of Wands, there is no clear path forward. You just have a general direction that feels correct. So final card for Soul Path. 1. Take a risk. Go for it. Bottom of the deck. Reach for the moon. Reach for the stars, baby. Take a risk. Take a chance on yourself. That doesn't mean throw everything away that you've currently built or are connected to, but it's starting to take risks towards your big, beautiful vision, towards creating a community or connecting in with a community that you can feel supported in and supports you right back. Having optimism, hope, and faith in yourself, but also that eventually you'll find it, so long as you keep moving in that direction. And yeah, it's going to require taking risks, risking what you're leaving behind, risking rejection, risking having to enforce your boundaries. This is an internal change, which will change your external world as well. And there's your road, the road that requires the fences on either side. It's like you're moving straight towards your destiny, whatever that destiny is for you. So this is what I have for you, my dear Soul Path 1. I trust the messages resonated today. If you'd like deeper guidance and join a community of soul-led seekers, become a member of my Patreon page. The link is in the description. Thanks for your presence today, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 2. Welcome into your reading. You chose the clear quartz, and I heard crystal clear. So this full moon in Cancer might be clarifying something for you or bringing clarity about what needs to be addressed, what needs to be considered, what needs more care and attention. So let's get an opening theme for this moon cycle for you for full moon in Cancer. Soul Path 2, 1 card, please. Yes. We have portal number 1, infinite mind and awakening consciousness. You could be having an awakening right now, which is maybe opening you up to new experiences. There's something new that's being created in this space of open possibilities and an expanded mind. So maybe your thinking is becoming less limiting. With this full moon, something is being opened or clarified even more, which expands your thinking, expands your ideas, expands your knowledge, maybe expands your psychic ability or your clear knowing, any of your clear senses. That's interesting. Your senses are becoming more clear, or there's more trust. Yes, there's more trust. Absolutely. There's more trust in your abilities, your skills, your knowledge, your wisdom. I love that. So let's see. For Soul Path 2, what needs more care and attention? Or what is the desire right now? The Hierophant in the upright. So what the soul wants, I feel, is possibly some structure, but this also speaks to higher learning, higher wisdom as well. So that pairs really nicely with that portal, this infinite mind of expanding your knowledge base. So not just looking at the things that you might be interested in, but also looking at other points of view, other perspectives, so that you can come to some kind of conclusion of what you believe to be true. So let's see, we'll get more information, but This could be expanding your spirituality as well. Maybe you want more knowledge about something, understanding the universe more. What are the blocks currently? This could be higher education I'm getting as well. 7 of Swords in reverse. So there could be a fear here of really sharing your truth, of what you know to be true. So in this context, I almost feel that someone has grown up with a traditional or familial religion or culture or spiritual practice, and there's almost this feeling like you either want to reconnect with that, or there is a fear of sharing your knowledge, sharing this new point of view, maybe even thinking something differently than what your traditional beliefs have been in the past. And there's a fear of you maybe exploring something new as it pertains to religion or spirituality, because there's this feeling of what will people think. So there's a desire to expand your knowledge, to follow maybe a more spiritual path, but there's a fear of being truly authentic, of being seen, of having people acknowledge what you're doing, maybe asking you questions, you having to answer to somebody, you maybe being shameful about what it is you desire or want when it comes to that spirituality. So your next empowered step to move forward towards your desires, to give care and attention to what needs to be nurtured right now. Queen of Swords. Bottom of the deck. That's clarity if I ever saw it. But it's not taking action on the clarity quite yet. It is gaining knowledge about understanding everything that you've learned, processing everything you've learned, organizing or managing all of that information so that this knowledge can then be used in a way that is clear, that is understood. So it's as if, you're gathering knowledge about something here. And I don't necessarily know that there is any decision involved, but it speaks more to your truth, maybe about who you are. And with the Emperor as your next empowered step, this feels like empowered action at some point. Now, if the Queen of Swords was a fear, an underlying fear of maybe stepping into this desire or want, or maybe bringing care and attention to something that you're passionate about, is that you're fearful of possible judgment, of being cut out, of some kind of connection. You may even fear setting boundaries, especially if you're learning something new and you have to help people learn how to interact with you now. So something has changed within you and there's certain things that you won't tolerate. So how do you set those boundaries? How do you change the narrative? How do you take action based on what you believe to be true now? And so that could be a little bit of a fear of, once I have this information, I have to act on it. And acting upon it may be challenging for you because it's out of your comfort zone. Maybe you haven't connected with that part of yourself in a really long time, or it's a new aspect of self that is coming to light that needs to be nurtured and practiced and implemented or integrated. And maybe this is that step one, is the understanding and the learning first. And then you're going to build something pretty significant for yourself. With this Emperor number 4, this is taking empowered action towards that vision. Quite literally, this moves from the 4 to the 5 in the major arcana here. So I don't feel that you're too far away once you start taking those empowered steps to be able to move forward into something new, into higher learning, maybe even building something of importance here for you or someone else. But it's to really have confidence in yourself, to take initiative, especially on the things that you know to be true right now. So your next empowered step is to take that empowered action, or to step into that empowerment energy based on the things that you know to be true for you, based on your truth, based on what you've learned and understood. And don't play small anymore. Having that confidence, having that faith in your vision, having that assertiveness when needed. So what does Soul Path 2 need to know? What else for this full moon in Cancer? This full moon in Cancer for you, I feel, is really opening you up to a new you that you haven't experienced before. So this is nurturing the empowered self. And maybe learning how to do that. It's big energy. So one card for Soul Path 2, please. Final card for Soul Path 2. It's too many cards there. But I did see celebrations, so this feels like a moment to celebrate. It's not something to be fearful of or shameful of. It's something to really take ownership of. Oh boy, maybe we should have taken those cards. Come on. Soul Path 2. Okay, we're gonna take 2 cards. So intuition, that's that expansion of knowledge, of trusting that intuition to make decisions, to move forward, to take action. And we have yin moon, accept help. So the yin energy is very divine feminine, and maybe help could help here. But what I'm getting most is this divine feminine of receiving information. That is the Queen of Swords. Receiving the next best action intuitively rather than logically. So this isn't just about learning something in the external world, like going to school and getting a degree or a certificate or something in a subject. This is about really learning about your intuitive nudges, your intuitive wisdom, and trusting that a little bit more. And I feel that's going to really open things up for you, but you have to be in a space of receiving for a time. And this full moon in Cancer might just be the portal in meeting an empowered version of self or a higher self. So this is what I have for you, Soul Path 2. I trust the messages resonated. If you'd like deeper guidance and join a community of soul-led seekers, become a member of my Patreon page. The link is in the description. Thanks for your presence, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, my Soul Path 3. Welcome into your reading. You chose the Rose Quartz. And I'm hearing the road to love has been rocky, but I also heard not just romantic love. This could be self-love or friendship love, familial love. So I feel whichever that might apply, whichever area that might apply is relevant and what this reading might be speaking to. But let's see what the theme of this full moon in Cancer is all about for Soul Path 3. Full moon in Cancer, Soul Path 3, please. You got 2 cards. So again, I'm getting partnership energy with that, whether it's you or someone in your family, a friend, a romantic partner. Looks like it's friend. We have 14 with friendship, support, fun, unity, and play. And we have miracles, ancient wisdom, number 39. Yeah, it's like you're learning a lot about the friendships or the connections that you've had in your life that I feel may have been playful to a degree, but it's been rough around the edges. It's been rough terrain. I feel like there's a lot of things you've had to overcome in these connections. I feel like you're gaining a lot of wisdom. I was going to say getting, but gaining sounds much, much better here. I feel like you're gaining a lot of lessons or a lot of information, a lot of understanding about who you are in these relationships. And number 14 is the Temperance card. So I feel like part of this is about you finding balance within connections. And that's what the full moon in Cancer may be highlighting here for you is how you love or how you like to be loved. Again, romantic, platonic, however you see fit. Because there is some wisdom in that. I feel like there is something to gain from that. And also, too, I'm just noticing that this person has a light above their solar plexus. Or maybe heart chakra, I'm not sure. But it's almost as if there's something about expression or you feeling confident to receive love, you feeling receptive to love. So that's interesting as well. How do you give and receive love is maybe a better, maybe a good question to ask there. So let's see. The focus, what needs care and attention, or maybe what your soul desires right now. The 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay. So Cups energy naturally is emotional in nature. When it's in the upright, it's about loss. It is rejection. It is disappointment and grief. Grief of what no longer is, or maybe what no longer was. We like to see it in reverse, though, because that means that your soul is desiring for you to move on from this energy, to move on from something that was in the past, is in the past, that won't return, and needs to be fully grieved, processed, and moved on from, rather than it have influence on you in this current moment. So that is what's being highlighted now. I feel like it is about relationships that have been lost in your life. So block, the Tower. That is a significant energy for the block because it means we have to release what is not serving us, what stories are not serving us, what emotions we keep returning to that does not serve us. And it's completely rearranging that. This is somewhat of an awakening of creating room, emotional space for new experiences, new possibilities, maybe even fun and play again, because it has been rough. So next empowered steps for Soul Path 3. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Your next empowered step is to not focus on the new thing quite yet, because there's still something to review and to remove in this moment. The structure has not been fully formed, or there is a pillar that needs to be taken out so that you can move forward with full joy, with full confidence, in full support of yourself here. The Magician at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's about having new experiences here, creating new experiences, not necessarily based on what you've experienced in the past, but nurturing new experiences based in joy. What I'm noticing here is that the Tower and the Magician both have birds that are flying higher. So gaining a higher perspective or getting curious about what is beyond this experience, what is possible beyond these experiences. How can you have a little more fun and play in your connections? So I feel your focus is being redirected during this full moon to help you understand that so you can create what it is you desire. But it's not just about thinking about it. It's about becoming it. And what is it that you need to release first before taking the steps forward with the Page of Pentacles and having that focus? You need to know what needs to be released and also where to focus your efforts, your time, your resources, because it could be quite scattered. And it's to tame that energy first, to really get clear about what needs to go, what needs to stay, what emotions need to be worked through, what emotional attachments need to be worked through in order to clear the way for new things. This could also be emotional experiences or even beliefs. So the belief that all friendships are rough, the belief that I will always get hurt. It's not focusing on that energy so much, but focusing on the energy of no matter how these new friendships work out, I will be okay. That I know my true self. I honor my true self. I honor my wisdom. I support myself. So things that feel very emotionally supportive for you, and to be that foundation for yourself so that no matter what relationship you get into, even if it's rough around the edges, you have trust and faith in yourself that it's okay, I can get through it. I don't need to personalize it. I don't need to carry this experience beyond its expiration date. I can remove what is hindering my growth, hindering my desire or my path to new people. You have support twice. And slow it down. So that energy is being confirmed with the slow it down card, that Page of Pentacles energy. And you have support twice. So there's a real highlight on supportive communities, supportive groups, supportive friends, whoever supports you, but also how you support yourself as well. I also feel is being really highlighted here, because that's going to be almost more important than the support you receive externally. Starting with that self is going to create that foundation for you when you aren't able to get support from other people, or when other people disappoint you, or when that support isn't necessarily available. And if this is you stepping out to make new friends or connections, find those people that you can have fun with, and that also you can be vulnerable with as well. I think there's two different things happening here. In order to find those communities that you align with, that feel supportive, that you have to understand what that support looks like for you and how you want to be supported, how do you want to feel. So there's a level of vulnerability and self-trust that you have to nurture during this time so that those things don't feel as scary. So I'm going to leave it here, Soul Path 3. I trust the messages resonated. If you'd like deeper guidance and to join a community of soul-led seekers, become a member of my Patreon page. The link is in the description. Thanks for your presence, and I'll see you in your next reading.